Home security systems have either been one, a hassle or too expensive, but the Reolink Argus PT plus the Reolink Solar Panel 2 make home security an ease at an inexpensive price. We have been using these for the past week. Stick around for our full video review. While I'd love to tell you that I'll be unboxing both of these products in front of you, I won't be. Why? Because they're already on my house. Right now we're going to jump to my install montage, where you should notice I am only using one tool to install both of these things, and then after that, stick around for the full review where I give you my full opinions on the features of this camera and solar panel and my insights on my past week of using them personally at my own home.
Fun sound.
As you saw from the install montage, these things were stupid easy to install. Some things that I noticed while installing though are that, first off, have a long screwdriver, because to get around the mounting arm for the solar panel, you're gonna need a long screwdriver. Don't try and use a short one, you'll end up stripping the screws. When I was actually installing these products, I noticed a couple things about their construction. The camera itself is mostly plastic, and that's okay. One thing I was surprised about though, is if you look at the mount for the camera, that is also plastic, but the mount for the solar panel is metal, which, in my opinion, the camera should also feature a metal mount because it's an expensive piece of hardware, but really that is just a minor detail in the bigger picture of this product. Once you have the camera and solar panel physically installed, you'll want to get the app installed on your phone. And the Reolink app you can download from the Play Store, and once you have it installed, you can hook up your camera very simply by using the app, following the prompts, and then all you do is scan a QR code on the camera and then input your Wi-Fi password, and then you create a password for the camera itself. Bada bing, bada boom, the camera's connected. Right now we're gonna hop into my app and take a look at what you'll see once you log into the Reolink app. We can see that I have a camera labeled front entrance, which is my camera. For connectivity's sake, it's pretty good. I will say there was only one occasion when I was not able to connect to my camera, and that's when I was away in a different city and my cellular connection was weak. But connecting in from work or just while out and about, I found to be pretty reliable. As you can see, the screen we're on now shows outside. This shows off one of the camera's cool features, at least I think is pretty cool, that it has night vision. From this screen as well, we can adjust where the camera is looking using the PTZ button. I can go, and then I'm met with a joystick where I can then adjust where the camera is looking. It does have a pretty big range for pan, tilt, and zoom. The zoom though is only a digital zoom at 5 times. The pan and tilt are much more than you'll ever need for a normal home, and let's just say I can see all the way from my front door to all the way out in the street, and even the pole that the camera is connected to. From this app as well, I can talk, which is kind of freaky, a function I didn't think would be included with this camera, but if I press the microphone button and do tap to talk, I can then talk to who's ever outside by the camera through this app. One note on that though is there is a pretty significant delay, and when I say significant, I mean about 2 seconds from when I actually talk to when it actually outputs with the camera. On the other side of sound, the listening aspect, that's much better than I expected. We will play some sample footage now from the camera, which will feature me talking.
This is a sound test from the camera. I'm talking normally at this point in time. So if you can hear me, this is how far I am away from the camera, about 6 feet. That's how the sound would sound to you.
Now that you've heard audio from the camera, you may have also noticed that there was video. And yes, it is a camera. It films at 1080p at 15 frames a second. Again, 15 frames a second. You will not be able to take like high quality YouTube videos from this camera, but for a security camera, I would say it is more than sufficient. On the app, there is a button to adjust the resolution that you're viewing. Right now I'm looking at things in 1080, but if I was on a slow connection, I could change to fluent, and then I would be able to see things more fluidly because it's fluent and without any buffering if I'm in an area with bad coverage. Some additional buttons on this screen are the picture button where I can snap a pic, or the video record button. If I'm using the video record button, it will then save that video to my camera roll, but there is more than just saving it to your camera roll. There are two other ways you can manage saved video with this camera. The first is that you could install an SD card in the camera. They recommend 8 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes where you can then play back video. That's not what I decided to do. Instead, I decided to use their cloud service, which we can also access from the app. If I go down here, enter cloud, and go into cloud storage, I can actually find saved videos that are triggered from motion sense. The camera does actually have an adjustable range for motion sensing. On the one that I have set, we can see that if I walked by the camera like I did earlier today and inside, it grabs a video clip of that so I can see who is near my front door during the day, or maybe when I don't want people by my front door at weird times of the day. This basic cloud plan is free. Yes, let me say that again. A free cloud plan where I get 1 gigabyte of storage, and the video is accessible for 7 days after it's been filmed. So if something were to happen, I could go onto the cloud storage, download those videos, and then use them for whatever I need to. Going back to our device though, let's take a look at some of the settings that we can adjust. We see right away the battery life pop up on screen. It's at 89% right now, and this is where things get interesting. Obviously we have a solar panel installed, and there is a battery that we could recharge from the camera. But listen to this. I did not charge the camera from the time that I received it. I simply hung it up and installed a solar panel, and so far everything has been net positive with the camera's battery life, meaning that when I first installed it, it was around 20%, and for the last week or so, it has been gaining charge even though there have been some cloudy days. You can also see that I'm connected up to our Google Wi-Fi. I have motion sensing on, which I can adjust the sensitivity, or I can adjust the schedule as well for when I want notifications sent to me. And then push notifications, email alerts, siren, which is a noise, or I can even share the camera. Oop, probably shouldn't show that. Which will give me a QR code to share the camera with someone else in my household who also is using the Reolink app. My roommate also downloaded the app. He has been using it regularly and hasn't found any major issues with this camera. There are some advanced things we can change, like the infrared lights we can turn off, time, date, status, LED, etc. The button with the bell is for notifications. If someone were to come by the camera, I would receive a push notification, which I find neat because then I can tell when I get packages in the mail from our loving and adoring fans. But overall, that's a quick rundown of the app. I encourage you to dive in more to the features that this camera has to offer. There is quite a host of them for the price of only $159.99. This time we'll hop out of the app and then really talk about the hardware itself. The pan tilt, good feature, fun to play around with, little bit of a lag. IP65 weather rated, so it should be good out in rain. It did survive one thunderstorm. What I'm interested in though is we live in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is just a bear for weather sometimes. We all have to admit that. If you've lived here, you know. And the cold, that's what I'm really interested in, because if this is mounted on plastic and it gets cold, plastic tends to break when it's cold. Will the camera not function when it's cold? Will whatever happen when it's not cold? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The weak points that I think could fail when weather gets kind of tough are obviously the camera mount, the plastic, and the connection from the solar panel to the camera. It is simply a micro USB cable that plugs into the camera and then is covered by rubber gasket type material. So we'll see if that holds up. I will definitely keep you updated if anything goes wrong. But overall, for bang for your buck, this is something you really have to think about compared to like a Nest camera. I was in Walmart 2 days ago looking at Nest cameras. They were $200, not for the outdoor version. This is $159.99 for an outdoor version that does have pan, tilt, zoom, can be controlled by an app on your phone, is compatible with Alexa and Google, and also offers free cloud storage. Yeah, it's a steal of a deal. If you want to get one for yourself, you certainly can do so. Go check it out via the link in the description below. If you have any other questions, please comment those down below. Since I've been using this camera personally and will continue to use this camera personally, I would say I'm kind of an expert with this camera because I'll be using it a lot. So ask those questions. We want you to know everything that you need to know before you go out and purchase this product. If you enjoyed this video, found it valuable, or just think I look funny, make sure to drop a like on it. Also, if you want to stick around for future content and view some of our awesome videos coming out in the near future, trust me, there's some good ones. Click that subscribe button so you don't miss out. That's all I have for today, folks. We'll catch you in the next one. Bird up.